Hello everyone. Today we are going to solve the SQL interview question maximum prime item inventory. Amazon wants to maximize the number of items it can store in a 500,000 square feet warehouse. It wants to store as many prime items as possible and afterwards use the remaining square foot to store the number of non-prime items. Write a query to find the number of prime and non-prime items that can be stored in a 500,000 square feet warehouse. Output the item type with prime eligible followed by non-prime and maximum number of items that can be stocked. We are given an inventory table which has item ID, item type, item category and square footage. Here is a sample data of the inventory table which has set of prime eligible and non-prime eligible items and its corresponding item category and the corresponding square footage. And we have to return the number of prime eligible items and the non-prime eligible items that can be stored in the 500,000 square foot storage. I hope the question is clear. Now let's get into the implementation. Here is our inventory table which has the item ID, item type, item category and the square footage. Here is the result. As a first step, let's calculate the total square footage of the number of items prime and not prime. Let's implement that. I'm selecting the item type. Sum of square footage I'm going to name this as total square comma the count this gives the count of number of items as item count group by item type. Group by item type. Let me run this query. Here is the result. In non-prime category, there are 4 items and the total square footage is 128. Whereas in the prime category, there are 6 items and the total square footage is 555. Let me create this as a temporary table. I'm going to name this as summary with summary as this. Let me select the temporary table. Select star from summary. Let me run this. I got the same result. Now we need to calculate the maximum number of prime items that can be stored in the 500,000 square foot warehouse. Let's do that. I am using the where condition item type equals to prime eligible. I am going to select the item type the total square feet of the warehouse is 500,000. 500,000 divided by total square this will give the number of square footage. We have to multiply this with the number of items. Item count. I'm going to name this as item count We also have to calculate the total space taken by the prime item to know the space left for the non-prime. Let's do that. I'm going to multiply it with the total square foot. As total square. Let me run this. Here is the result. We can store 5403 prime items and the total square footage is this. Since we are doing the division, let's round up the result. Floor and here also I am adding floor. Let me run the query now. I got the result without the decimals. I am going to create this as a temporary table. I am going to name this as prime. Prime as, let me select this table, select star from prime. Let me run this. We got the same result. In this result, we need only the item type and the item count. So I'm going to select item type and item count. Item count. Now we need to calculate the maximum number of non-prime items that can be stored in the remaining space. Let's do that. I'm going to union this result. Union. I'm going to do this operation here. I'll select the summary table. Select star from summary where item type in this case is non-prime, not prime. I need only the item type and the item count. Let's do that. Item type in this case will be not prime, comma, we need to calculate the remaining space left for the non-prime items, comma, 500,000 minus the total square foot of the prime items. Select total square from prime. Let me enclose this in the parenthesis. Divided by the total square foot of the non-prime items. Divided by total square foot. Since we are doing the division, in order to remove the decimals, I am taking only the floor of this result. Floor. This will give the number of square foot. Now I have to multiply this with the item count. Item count. I'm going to name this as item count. Let me run this. We got the total number of prime items that can be stored and the total number of non-prime items that can be stored in the 500,000 square foot warehouse. Now we have to display the prime eligible item first. followed by non-prime eligible items. For that, we have to order the items. Order by item type, in descending. Let me run this. We got the required result. Now let me submit it. The solution got accepted. I hope you like this video and I'm sure that you learned something new today. If you do like this video, please consider to subscribe and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.